Hello and welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr.MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you are moving into living life truly on your own terms, because that is what is required of us in this season. We are so favored and blessed to be born at such a time as this. Many saw this time with their spiritual eye, but we get to witness the fall of Babylon, like for real, with our physical eyes and our spiritual eyes. But it's not for the faint-hearted. So you really have to make sure that, you've strengthened yourself up, because it's going to get a little bumpy before it gets shiny. But those are definitely stories for other days. Now, in the wake of the Lebanon, what are they calling it? Ammonium nitrate blast. Some Kenyans who had been working. First of all, we even discovered, I didn't even know Kenyans were working there. But remember, I asked you guys that question the other day. Anyway, about 30 plus Kenyan women who had been working in Lebanon as domestic workers, call girls, etc., staged demonstrations after spending days sleeping in front of the honorary consulate, because Kenya doesn't actually have an embassy there. The main embassy is Kuwait, that deals with everyone, most of the Middle East, the neighboring countries, but they have like an honorary consulate. So like we saw with the Ethiopians, the Kenyans were literally dumped outside of their embassy, and I don't know where they got a mattress from, but at least three of them even had young babies. Some looked like they were still breastfeeding. And eventually they were like, enough is enough. And in true Kenyan spirit, they started protesting on the streets of Lebanon and in front of the embassy, chanting, "We want to come home, we want to come home, we want to come home." And it was heartbreaking to watch. The videos went viral. They were picked up by our Nairobi governor and others. And it's just really heartbreaking. But take a look at this video. We'll be right back.
Wake up, Africa!
Welcome back to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. Thank you so much to everyone that supports us on our Patreon and our PayPal accounts. We wouldn't be able to do the show without you, and we really appreciate the support and that you guys really stand with us as we continue to share the awakening news from around global Black Africa. So now the Kenyan embassy in Kuwait ended up seeing that viral video. That's just so heartbreaking. But at least our Kenyan women, it's just heartbreaking. I'm not even going to say, at least they're bold. They were like, that's why Kenya is a female nation. At least they caught the attention of the Kenyan embassy in Kuwait, and they assured Kenyans, because Kenyans here were not, they were not having it, and they assured Kenyans who were stranded in Lebanon that they would soon be repatriated, and the assurance from the embassy, which is accredited to Lebanon, as I told you guys, the main embassy is in Kuwait, and then Lebanon kind of reports to Kuwait, but unfortunately they may have to wait a little longer to be repatriated. Now, it was found out that most of them said they had no work and nowhere to live in Lebanon. They also said they had no cash for air tickets back home. And the Kenyan ambassador to Kuwait, someone called Halima Muhammad, she said, we have communicated to the Kenyans to register with the consulate, and we are already trying to address their issue. Since resumption of flights, 30 Kenyans were facilitated back to Kenya in terms of providing them with the relevant documentation by our honorary consular. And this went so viral that it even caught the attention of Amnesty International. They asked the Lebanese government to facilitate the repatriation of migrant workers who wish to return to their respective countries, because literally the Lebanese economy was already on its knees. After this blast, it's basically collapsed. This was like the death blow, literally. And so a lot of our sisters who had gone to work in Lebanon are literally just being thrown on the streets. And the discrimination in Lebanon, we're told, is way worse than the Saudi Arabias of this world. But beloveds, it's time for people to come home. And there's an African American brother who commented when I told you guys, the Ghanaian government had actually organized for about 1,500 to be repatriated. Someone had emailed me, someone commented, and I really took this comment to heart. And they were like, how do you go to Europe or to Lebanon or anywhere and you don't have money for a ticket back, or you don't even have a return ticket? And unfortunately, a lot of them, their travel documents are actually withheld. Because in Lebanon, literally, there was a BBC documentary that was done a couple of years ago where they said, literally, you're a slave. You're not a domestic worker or a cleaning lady or a maid. You're seen as a slave. You're literally owned and controlled. And the family that you work for is the one that polices you. You can't even exchange money without your madam. And so I'm just so happy to see our African sisters coming home. Beloveds, this is not the time to be. Everyone is scrambling to go home. Even here in Kenya, the Mzungus are scrambling to go home because the UN has told them, everyone is working remotely, so please leave the country. But if you decide to stay, then you need to cover your own expenses. And guys are suffering because they were living, they had like $3,000, $5,000 housing allowances and all this stuff. All of a sudden, now that expense is on you. So everyone is downsizing or repatriating. So please, Africans, wherever you are, come home as soon as you can. I laugh when someone's like, I'll come in 2022 or I'll come in 2021 by December. I'm like, do you? But that may be too late. Anyway, let me know what you think about this story. I really hope that our, Kenyan sisters are brought home as quickly as possible. And really, it shows you that we have power to make our governments act, because when we share these videos, even if we don't have the power to do anything, we have the power to make noise. And when we make noise, our governments sit up and pay attention. So let's keep making noise, beloveds. Until next time, tuko pamoja.